Hello, everyone. X-Walk Hill Bethelite here. And let's talk about the invisible presence. Not the invisible presence teaching that Jehovah's Witnesses have, that they alone were selected by Jesus to be the only religion he approves, but he did it invisibly. Nobody saw him do it. We're not talking about that stupidity. We're talking about the invisible presence of Jehovah's Witnesses, because I haven't seen them. And I love it. I love what the new governing body's done with the place. That's the first positive thing I've said about Jehovah's Witnesses in a long time. I love what the new governing body's done with the place, because I don't see them anymore. And they were an eyesore. They were disheveled. When I say disheveled, I'm talking their suit jacket all crooked, shirt collar all dirty, looking all homeless, just wandering around, super old, waddling around. And now you don't see them anymore. They have vanished. Now, there are, I'm sure, major cities where you see them all bunched up standing next to carts. But I haven't had one knock on the door in a long time. You used to see them all the time. They'd be going around the block. You just be driving in the neighborhood and you'd see them. But you don't see them anymore. At least I don't. And I think the reason for that is the decline. The decline is so major that you have certain cities where you don't see Jehovah's Witnesses at all, unless there is some major event like the memorial, and then they'll try to reach out to more people. They'll try to go door to door knocking in order to hand out them pamphlets. But outside of that, they can't handle what they used to call the door to door work. They can't handle it. They can't cover enough ground on a regular basis. We used to have these little cards. I'm sure you guys remember. They were territory cards. We called them territory cards, and they represented a certain area that particular congregation was responsible for. And you'd want to have that area covered. So you'd want people knocking on those doors somewhat regularly. Now, I don't think that rule per se has changed, but Jehovah's Witnesses, because they're losing members, because they are a blatantly false cult. No, Jehovah didn't pick them invisibly to be the only people that represent him. Just because they use the word Jehovah don't mean he picked them invisibly. It's stupid. They are losing so many members that they've had to sell the Kingdom Halls. Now, the Kingdom Halls are small as all get out. You already, your church building, what you call a Kingdom Hall, is already small as all get out. As far as churches are concerned, they are already some of the smaller churches. They just managed to get multiple Kingdom Halls, as small as they are, throughout different cities. Well, now they didn't have to sell them. They've had to sell them because they ain't got nobody in them bad boys. They're not making money. So they make money by selling them. Now you only have, I think in my area, there's 2 Kingdom Halls. When I say my area, I mean my whole area. There's 2 Kingdom Halls. One of them, I think, is for sale. So that leaves only one to try to cover everything. And even in a small city, they can't do it because half the congregation is elderly. How are a bunch of elderly people in a car group going to cover an entire city? The reality of the fact is that even when there were more Jehovah's Witnesses, you had a pretty large group of them that would religiously go to McDonald's, hang out at McDonald's for as long as they could. Then they would leave McDonald's and go on what we would call calls. Basically go to some house, knock on the door and see if there's somebody there. Typically, they would try to go to houses where they knew more than likely no one would be there, knock a couple times, no one's here, let's leave, and do that a few times and call it a day. So you're not going to eliminate a large number of your door knockers and be left with the elderly group that likes to just stand by carts or just go to McDonald's and then pretend knock on doors or pretend go on calls, and you think you're going to cover your quote unquote territory. Jehovah's Witnesses can't even cover the territory in America. So why on earth would you think that this same cult is able to carry out some quote unquote worldwide preaching work? The worldwide preaching work statement is yet another false teaching that Jehovah's Witnesses have. They can't cover America. They can't even cover probably the most loose, liberal, easygoing on cults country there is in the world, probably next to Africa. Some places in Africa, you got a bunch of cults and people eating grass and all kinds of insane stuff there. But the invisible presence of Jehovah's Witnesses is here. The worldwide preaching work is now a false teaching. It's now old light. That's old light. I don't want to see it in no more watchtowers. I don't want to see Sam Turd get up talking about no more worldwide preaching activity or preaching work or anything like that, because there is no worldwide preaching work. You can't even handle a city in America. I ain't seen them. Comment down below how many times you've seen them. Probably based off the area you are. I haven't seen them anywhere. And I've driven through large cities. And I kind of had a mental note to kind of look around and see if I saw any of them. And I just haven't seen them. They're out of sight, out of mind. The whole concept that this is God's one and only way of reaching people, and these people done died off to the point where they can't even cover territories in America on a regular basis, going door to door. Nobody cares about them disheveled looking people standing next to carts. You've seen the carts. Do you see a line? Have you ever seen a line? There's no line. There's nobody waiting to get one of them magazines from them people. The only way Jehovah's Witnesses were ever known was knocking on doors, was door to door, because back in the day, that would be a joke. You been banging on my door like you some Jehovah's Witness or something. People, Jehovah's Witnesses would love that because they felt like they were known. They felt like people knew who they were because they look on TV and there's people making jokes about, I thought you was a Jehovah's Witness. What you banging on my door for? Now, they are not known at all. They have vanished from the world stage. There are people rioting in California, from what I hear. They're sending National Guard and Marines and all kinds of stuff, so I'm assuming something's going on. Do you think anybody at all is looking to Jehovah's Witnesses for any kind of guidance in this regard? No. Nobody's thinking about Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses are not out in force in California trying to help the situation or teach people anything. They don't exist in the minds of most people. The only people that Jehovah's Witnesses are visible to are their family members, because their family members have to deal with sheer stupidity. But for the most part, for the majority of the world, Jehovah's Witnesses don't exist anymore. They're not God's one and only true group of people, because they don't exist anymore. You can't call them God's one and only true organization. They've managed to screw the organization up. Because over time, in order to be a Jehovah's Witness, now this is the honest truth. There was a time where Jehovah's Witnesses were a little bit more popular than they are today. There was a time where it wasn't blatantly obvious that Jehovah's Witnesses were a cult, in the sense that there weren't a ton of videos all over YouTube, a ton of information all over the internet. The internet wasn't as big at a particular point in time. So there was a possibility a person could be a Jehovah's Witness and just be fooled. But now, in order to be a Jehovah's Witness, there's got to be something wrong with you. Like, you need to be diagnosed with a mental disorder. There's something wrong with you if you are a Jehovah's Witness now, because it's blatantly, obviously a cult. Like, these people they're not even allowed to wear beards, and now all of a sudden they're allowed to wear beards. Like, they just do whatever in the world they're told by, they don't even know who's running the damn group, and they'll just obey whatever it is that they're told. It's obviously a cult now. So as time went on, you have to be more mentally retarded to join the cult. That affects the leadership also. So the leadership of Jehovah's Witnesses is dumber now than it ever has been. And you can see by just looking at the results. You got, your leadership is freaking inbred or something mentally wrong with them. And now they've managed to steer this religious organization off the map on the world stage. They've managed to vanish. They've managed to lose so many members. They're selling these little itty bitty kingdom halls, and they're turning into bars or other small churches. They've managed to screw everything up, and it's wonderful. Great job. The new, what is it called? Retarded body of Jehovah's Witnesses. Governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. Great job destroying this cult faster than anybody else could. I want to shake one of these new, like, really slow governing body members. And you know they're slow because I've done a video in the past where they had a quote unquote convention. It was during COVID, so the whole thing was online. So you had governing body members giving speeches online, and they were horrible. Oh my goodness, they were horrible. I'm looking at governing body members that can't even give 5 minutes worth of information without looking down at a piece of paper and screwing up, even though they're reading it off of the paper. Why anybody thinks Jehovah God is literally talking to a group of people who can't read off of a piece of paper without screwing up. I'm talking losing their place and just standing still for long periods of time, looking to try to figure out where the hell they were on that piece of paper. They can't even do basic things that most religious leaders, people in leadership, can do. So yes, they've gotten dumber. What else is going to happen when you have a group that teaches you should not go to college? Well, eventually, you're just going to have a bunch of dumbasses running the place. And that's what you have. The governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses is so damn stupid that they have managed to, where are they? I don't see any more of them. They've managed to screw up what little Jehovah's Witnesses were ever able to do, which is just knocking on some damn doors. They can't even do that. They cannot cover the territory anymore in America, let alone freaking Russia or the Middle East or somewhere else. Freaking Africa. I don't know what the heck they're doing in Africa. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So Jehovah's Witnesses have managed to just completely, the governing bodies managed to just run it into the ground. They done ran this cult into the ground, and I love it. I love it. I want to shake the hands, just line up the governing body members, because Sam Hurd is so damn old, he don't know what the hell's going on. But the other people, the younger people, are running it into the ground. I want to shake all of their hands and high five the new governing body members, because they're just so damn stupid, and I love it. I love what they've done with the place. Used to have Jehovah's Witness wandering around, and you don't see them no more. The only reason I think people remain in the cult is because they're coddled. People who are coddled don't tend to want to leave the little bubble that they're in, that they get coddled in. Because one teachings that Jehovah's Witnesses have is that they are the only religion that God is using. So that's an accomplishment for you to just be there. So a Jehovah's Witness has got to assume that another Jehovah's Witness is a special person just by them being in the cult, meaning they have to be nice to you. In normal society, people don't have to be nice to you if they don't like you. So Jehovah's Witnesses do not want to leave that little bubble, regardless of the fact that the governing body done destroyed the damn religion. They done destroyed the quote-unquote organization. They can't organize or do nothing anymore. They still want to stay in the cult. Do some of them know it's a cult? I think a lot of people do. But they want to stay because it's a social group now. It's not an organization. In my opinion, this is Marcus's opinion. This is not no religious organization. It's a social group where a bunch of socially retarded people can have friends. That's what it is now. They're not on the world stage as no even a threat to ever be a large major religion. This is a place where people who have mental health problems get what is called love bomb, meaning they are socially welcomed in a manner that is not normal. They're socially welcomed just off the fact of being in the cult, which is a drawing point for most cults. The reason why most cults, a lot of cults draw people is because they teach they're the only ones God's using. So there's something special about you to have been there, because most people aren't in that cult. So for you to be one of the few people that are in it, there must be something special about you. So I'm going to be nice to you, because we have to show that we show love to each other. And there ain't but a few of us here, so we got to be nice to you regardless of the fact that you're retarded. So that's the drawing point. That's the reason why so many people are still there. Because people are going to try to be nice to them regardless of how dumb they are, how odd they are. There was a guy, older guy, I remember, and he smelled like he swam and onions and fucking garlic. Like he just smelled like he just fucking bathed in garlic. And I'm not lying. Everybody knew it. Everybody knew he smelled awful. And I think the guy probably did bathe in garlic because he lived to be fucking 90 something. Like, he outlived everybody. People used to hold their nose when he walked by, and he got the last laugh because he outlived them all. So there's something about fucking just marinating in garlic that makes you live longer or something, because he just fucking reeked. But he'd be up on stage. People would be shaking his hand. Why? Because he's a Jehovah's Witness, and there ain't but a few people in the damn hall. So you gotta be nice to them to show that you're the one only true religion. So we gotta be nice to this guy, even though he smells like fucking death. Smelling like old people mixed with fucking garlic, mixed with fucking rotten eggs, mixed with booty. Like, it was just bad. So if those are the types of people that they're putting on a stage, and then after he leaves the stage, they gotta spray Lysol or whatever the hell all over the goddamn, just to be able to stand in the stage in the same area where he was. But they put him up on stage. People knew him by name. People shook his hand. People sat and had conversations with him after the meeting. That's the reason why people are still in the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, because it don't matter how stupid you are, it don't matter how socially awkward you are, they still gotta coddle you, they still gotta baby you, they still gotta be nice to you. The car group used to be the only friends people fucking had, was the car group. They couldn't wait to go out in field service and get in the car group so to have somebody to talk to. Now it's the Zoom group. They get on Zoom, they get on a computer, and now they got some friends. That's the only damn reason there's anybody even there. Because the new governing body is so damn stupid and inbred. I think they literally breed these people. Like, there's a family of people who they're related and they're having kids, and that's where the governing body's coming from now. Like, these people are just off. I'm talking overweight, double and triple chin. You know what I mean? Like, it's bad. So they're coddled. People are coddled. People are love bombed, or essentially treated in a much nicer manner in a social setting than they would anywhere else, because there's something wrong with them. Outside of the family, usually a family is going to try to be nice to you regardless, but that's the concept for a cult, is to treat a person almost like family regardless of just how off they are. That's the only damn reason people are still Jehovah's Witnesses, is because they don't know how else to get friends. They don't know, they can't function in society because they've been coddled and love bombed their whole fucking lives. They can't function in society anymore. How are they going to make friends smelling like onions and garlic and just all kinds of stupid shit like that? They can't. So it's just a social group. It's a social group filled with fucking social outcasts that can't survive in society without being coddled, without being sat down in a little chair and told that God loves them and that they're the only religion and that they're special. And then after the meeting, people stand there and talk to them. That's the only damn reason they're there. Comment down below. Let me know, how often do you see Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on the door? How often do they come knocking on your door? I think you have major cities where you may see some Jehovah's Witnesses standing by some damn carts. But as far as a global preaching work, they can't come. There ain't enough of them anymore. There ain't enough of them that ain't elderly. I should say, anymore, that can just be walking around blocks like we used to back in the day. Back in the day, we would just be walking, boy. We would be covering some area. They can't do it anymore. They're too damn old. So the preaching work is over with. Global preaching work, it's over with. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. X Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.